to get you started, I'm going to teach you the 3 most important things. But before we end here today, I promise you that I am going to let you know where you can go, what you can do to learn more and get more knowledge on this subject. So,
hello and welcome to the Kingdom Builders Academy podcast. Today, it's me, Coach Jillian, and our fearless founder and leader, Coach Tam, offering you a masterclass in all things selling from many different settings, copywriting, and teaching. You are in the right place at the right time, and Coach Zach is with us in spirit. So we say hello to everyone who is watching and listening. We're so excited you're here. All right, Coach Tam, are you in it to win it?
I am so ready. This is one that you guys are going to want to get your notepads ready. It might be too fast for analog notes. You might even want to take some type notes on your laptops and computers. You're probably going to want to watch this one a couple of times because I've got so much for you that if in all likelihood, you're not going to be able to process it in one setting. So this is decades of sales experience, sales mindsets, and it is super, super powerful. Like when you get this stuff, it will change your life. It will change your family's life. It will change your future. It will change your finances. So get ready. We are going to dive into all things sales and marketing.
You know, I remember when you first would bring me out on the road for Get Motivated Business seminars as training to be an MC. And I'll never forget when you would take the stage to get ready to do your presentation. You had your New York Times best-selling book, Get Motivated. And you would say, who do we have with us here today? And I just distinctly remember, and I don't remember all the names of all the things, but I remember it being like, business people, and we had, leaders, and you would say,
have C-level.
Do it right now. Say who you would say, and then do the end, and then do the little.
Where are my salespeople? And they will.
And she would say, and at the very end, and she would say, and where are my salespeople? And the room would go crazy. People are like, wow! Because guess what? Most of the people that were in those rooms, in those stadiums with thousands and thousands of people all around the United States, they were in sales. So if they were eating it up, you are in the right place, my friend, because here she is decades later with so much more wisdom, and she's worth her weight in Bitcoin. Our fearless leader, Coach Tam Phillips, is in the house. So we're going to talk about sales first, okay? And Coach Zach teamed up to help pin some of these questions because he is a brilliant mind. Okay, that's from Father of the Bride, just in case you didn't know. Brilliant mind. So here's the very first question. Coach Tam, you are a master at selling from the stage. What do you think is the most important thing to focus on when you are selling a product live in front of a group of people?
Okay, I'm going to answer that question. But first, I think I'm going to beep, back it up a little bit and just kind of give you a framework, a mental framework, and maybe even a reset for your spirit about sales. In fact, we have a live audience who are with us here today on the podcast. And I want to ask you guys in the chat, if you would please tell me, do you feel good, great, okay, or scared or miserable? Like, how do you feel in general about sales? Drop a word in the chat. Selling your products and services. How do you feel about?
Okay, Coach Tam, I'm going to share it with you. So we've got We've got some scareds. Okay. We've got some scareds. We've got some, I love it. And that's great. I love to sell my profit, or my product. It's scary. I feel shaky, unsure, and anxious. I feel like I'm mediocre. I feel privileged. I feel icky. I just saw an icky in there. More confident.
I see mostly negative words.
Yeah.
Unsure, anxious, nervous, uncomfortable. So that's why I want to kind of start out with sort of a spiritual mental reset about sales. And I want to show you that it is actually biblical to feel good about selling. So, first of all, you need to know that sales is not something that you do to people. It's something that you do for them. The word sell, it comes from a Norwegian word, which means to serve. So you're actually serving when you're selling. And particularly in this space where we are selling our knowledge, our how to advice, we're selling accountability. It's important for you to understand that knowledge is a commodity. Knowledge is a saleable commodity. And I'll give you an example. So right now, I am doing a massive renovation in my home. I'm renovating my basement. I tore down my deck. I put up another deck. We've got a corner fireplace out on the deck now, and we're adding in 2 bedrooms and a bathroom and a kitchen and a fireplace and a storage room and closets and a full-size laundry room in my basement. And I could go on YouTube and I could figure out how to do the things that need to be done. There's plenty of videos on YouTube, but I am not foolish enough to do that. It is way better for me and better for my house and my property value if I will hire a general contractor. Now, my general contractor, his name is Will, and Will has beautiful uncalloused hands. He's not painting, he's not sanding, he's not pounding with a hammer. He's doing none of the work. He's simply overseeing it and making sure that with his knowledge base, my project turns out well. And for that knowledge base, Will is getting paid tens of thousands of dollars overall in this project. It is the same exact thing for you with your knowledge base. Knowledge is a commodity. So Proverbs 11:26 uses the same kind of example, but it uses the example of grain as a commodity. And here's what it says. It says, whoever hoards grain will be cursed among the people, but blessing will crown the head of those who sell it. Who sell it, not give it away, who sell it. So I have a question for you. Are you hoarding your knowledge? Are you too scared to sell it, like grain that you're afraid to sell? Now, right now, I currently have over 500 active clients and thousands more before you guys who are here with us live, who are finally making money as speakers and authors and coaches, ministers, business owners, online entrepreneurs. And you know what these people do? They bless me. They bless me for selling the commodity of knowledge that has enabled them to prosper. And that's why I don't feel gross about selling. I feel good about selling because I know that the commodity of knowledge that I possess is exactly what God's people need to go to the next level and prosper. And I want you to think about the knowledge that you possess and how it can help people. Now, you could hoard it like grain that you're afraid to sell. I'm going to read that scripture again. It's so good. Proverbs 11:26. Whoever hoards grain, whoever hoards this commodity will be cursed among the people. But blessing will crown the head of the one who sells it, not gives it away, who sells it. So think about your knowledge and the people that you could help. You could hoard your knowledge. You could hoard it like grain because you're afraid to sell it. Or you might give it away for free to a few people, but if you sell a coaching program or you sell a course or you get paid to speak or you get paid to write or produce training videos or webinars, you're finally able to help people then financially. You're financially able to help them at an exponential rate. Instead of helping a couple of people for free, now you can help hundreds, you can help thousands, you can help tens of thousands. And over time, like I have, you can help hundreds of thousands and you can help millions if you'll stop hoarding the commodity of knowledge. All right. Now, Jillian, I'm going to answer your question about selling from the stage.
Oh, I just have one little add-on that to support what you said. So there was a coach who became very successful within KBA. And in the beginning, though, she said she had a lot of these issues that are being discussed today around sales. And she came to a meeting and she said, I just had this dream. And she said, and at the time she was living in Dubai. And she said, I was walking down the street and it was just like lots of traffic, people everywhere, tourists. And she goes, it was like a hustle and bustle kind of day. And she goes, I was walking down the street and there was currency. There was paper money that was floating down from the sky, just like a countless number of bills. And she said, I thought in the dream that she was like, that's just so weird. The weird part, although the currency falling from the sky was weird, she goes, the weird part was the response to all of this free money. And she's like, I was walking and the money was like getting into the kind of the gutter and floating down and then going into the gutter, into the drain. Cars were driving over it. People were trampling all over it. And she said, I didn't understand. She goes, in the dream, she couldn't like grab it, right? She was just watching all of this unfold. And she said, that's just so weird. And when she woke up, that the Holy Spirit said to her, that is exactly what happens when I give you and entrust you with knowledge and gifting and experience and talent. And then you don't value yourself. You don't value what I've given you. You don't value what I've brought you through. You don't value the oil you carry. You don't value yourself enough. That you literally place no value on yourself. So why would you expect anyone else to put value on you? And that when you just treat it like, well, it's not that valuable because of whatever the excuse is, the argument is, the stronghold is, that people will treat it how you value it. So don't expect the people around you to treat it with honor and respect and to think that it holds genuine value and worth themselves if you don't. And I thought that was just like a very powerful dream to think that people can walk all over what you have to offer because you yourself never valued it and kind of had a little bit of shame and guilt around even saying, I have something to offer that I believe is of the Lord that will transform your life. So I just wanted to encourage you not to walk around on the currency of your gifting, treating it without value. So to the question, shall I repeat it or do you remember?
It's on how to sell from the stage. Just kind of a thought on what you just shared. On selling from the stage too. How many of you have ever been in an audience where somebody was speaking and they did a really great job? They were confident in their material. They were confident in their delivery. And then they got to the end and they wanted to talk about some books that they brought along to sell, some $20 books that they brought along to sell. And all of a sudden, you can see that they get visibly nervous. They're kind of sweating. They're stumbling. They may even say, like, I'm sorry, I feel bad for talking about this. A $20 book. And what does it do to you in the audience? What does it do to the whole audience? It makes everybody uncomfortable. Everybody is now feeling uncomfortable. And here's the thing. You've just got to stop doing that. It's just got to be a conscious choice that you make and you say, what I have is valuable. If people buy this, they are going to be better off. than if they didn't buy it. Do you feel that way about your programs, about your books, about your coaching? That if people invest in working with you, that they're going to be better off. They're going to achieve their goals quicker. They're going to cut the hurt curve. I don't call it the learning curve because it's painful. It's painful. The school of hard knocks hurts badly. So if they invest with you, it's going to be good for them. Now you've got to act like that, like the old saying, like if you're happy, you ought to inform your face. And I'll tell you something that Zig Ziglar used to say. He would say, timid salespeople have skinny children. Timid salespeople have skinny children. So we've got to be confident about the way that we present. And I'll tell you, if you're not confident, here's the best substitute. Nobody can tell the difference. If you're not confident, substitute enthusiasm. Be enthusiastic.
Oh, that's so good.
You can't tell the difference between confidence and enthusiasm. So just be enthusiastic about what it is that you're offering and the value that people are going to get out of it. All right. Selling from the stage. Important to build rapport with the audience. So I think that you need to calibrate your energy to the capacity of the room. So I'm a big stage speaker. That's mostly what I have done all my life for decades. I'm not talking about hundreds. I'm not talking about thousands. I'm talking about tens of thousands. So as a big stage speaker, we're louder, we use more gestures, we're more enthusiastic. But when I speak to a small room, I take my energy down and I try to connect with intimacy. So you want to calibrate your energy to the capacity of the room. You always want to talk about your credibility. You always want to talk about why you're an expert. What are your credentials? How many people have you helped? What are the books that you've written? What are your certifications? Why do you deserve to be heard? You always want to talk about that, because when you get to that point where you're about to offer the commodity of your knowledge to help people advance quicker, they already know that they should listen to you, that they should pay attention to you. One of the ways to do this in a really elegant way is to talk about your credentials in a way that's not braggy. So you can say something like, and it kind of gets your origin story in there, it gets your background in as well, is I can say something like, it's true that I've written a number of best-selling books, Amazon #1, New York Times best-selling books. I have built $100 million companies. I'm considered one of the top coaches in the world, but it wasn't always that way. I was a high school dropout. I was a drug addict. I probably would have died young if it weren't for the fact that I came to Christ. And so now you're positioning your credibility and you're sort of juxtaposing it or contrasting it with your origin story. And it's a way of connecting with the audience, because then they see that there's hope for them too. No matter what their situation is, there's hope for them too. I like to seed the sale at the beginning by saying, now, I don't have time to share with you today everything that I know about sales. I just have an hour with you today, and that's not going to be enough to teach you everything that I know about sales. But to get you started, I'm going to teach you the 3 most important things, or the 5 most important things. But before we end here today, I promise you that I am going to let you know, for those of you who want to learn more or dig deeper, I'm going to let you know where you can go, what you can do to learn more and get more knowledge on this subject. So when you end, you're going to circle back to that promise, and you're going to say, you're going to go ahead and teach, and you're going to give them your best stuff. They are going to be having epiphanies and ahas. They are going to love you. And then when you get to the end, you say, hey, you guys remember at the beginning, I told you that for those of you who want to learn more or dig deeper, I would tell you how you can do that. So I'm going to do that now. Is that okay? And now everybody is giving you permission to do that. Your audience will give you permission to do that. And then that's how you introduce your offer. Okay. What you want to do in the body of your speech when you're speaking is you want to say how I did it. This is how I did it, not this is how you should do it. Because when people hear you should do this, it sounds very preachy. But if you say, this is how I built a 8-figure coaching business. This is how I got my books on the bestseller list. You're building your credibility, but you're doing it in a sweet way that makes them lean in. And then I would also add testimonials. I would say, well, not only did this strategy work for me, it also worked for Jaquel Tucker. And her 3 books hit #1 on the bestseller list. Or this not only worked for me, this also worked for Tom Griffith, who has now built a multi-6-figure coaching business, and share testimonials. And you're sliding it in there in a kind of cool way, like it doesn't sound salesy, but you are saying the things that I have, the knowledge that I have, this commodity of knowledge that I have has blessed other people, and it's worked for them too. You want to shadow box objections in your speech. Oh, that's going to take too much time to build a coaching program. It's going to, I'm scared. I'm scared of selling to people. Oh, it's going to be too complex. I'm not good with technology. So those are the kinds of things that in your speech, you're going to start shadow boxing those things and tell them why, no, you actually can do this pretty quickly. 78% of my students get their first high paying clients in 90 days or less. Doesn't really take that much time. No, it's not really complex because my team builds your website for you and we teach you how to use it. And here, let me show you some of the tools that we use so you can see there's nothing to be afraid of. So I do that when I'm presenting on a virtual stage or on stage, as I'm going to shadow box those objections so that we're lowering the resistance to when we get to that point of making the offer. I will tell you this too, as I was saying, just be enthusiastic. Scared money don't make money. Scared money don't make money. If you're scared, if you're nervous, if you're unsure, all that's doing is telegraphing to your audience that you're not really a confident coach. They really shouldn't spend money with you because you're not even confident in your own stuff. So be enthusiastic the whole time and don't lose that enthusiasm when you make the offer. Talk to your buyers, not the broke folk. Okay. Talk to the people who are going to buy your offer. So you might see, for instance, sometimes a television commercial or a commercial that comes on in between some YouTube thing that you're watching. And you think, gosh, that is so dumb. Why would anybody buy that product? And you tune out right away. Well, you're not the audience. Whoever their audience is resounds with that marketing message. So don't talk to the whole audience when you're making your offer. You're just specifically talking to the people who have the money, who are motivated to take action. You're talking to those people. Forget about the other people in the room. Talk to your buyers, not the broke folk. You want to use value stacking. So this is where you're telling them benefit, benefit, benefit. You're going to get this and you're going to get that. And I'm going to show you how to solve this problem and that problem. And you're going to stack those benefits. I remember Jillian, when we were doing the Get Motivated seminars, and I would talk about my book and all the things that I included in my offer. I actually had certificates with gold seals printed up. And I would take that on stage and I would say, now I've got a bunch of bonuses for you and I've got them printed up on these certificates. So you're going to get all this stuff. And I would just read them off the certificates and show that was my way of value stacking to that audience. When you value stack for each element of your offer. So you've seen me do this. You guys have seen me do this on our webinars. I'll say, now I've got some great bonuses for you. So you're going to get 7 days a week dream teams. We're going to pair you with a one-on-one coach. We're going to give you your website. We're going to develop it for you. And I go through all of these elements of the offer. On every one, I put a value, and that value is usually in the thousands of dollars mark, because that's legitimately how much the value is. But if your value is hundreds of dollars, put hundreds of dollars. But what you want to do is you want to stack the value with the prices so that anybody can see that this thing that you're offering for, maybe it's $3,000, but this is a $30,000 value. You can see all the elements of it. So you want to make sure that the price of your offer is a no-brainer. It's just value, 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 value. And I would say that you want to add an element of scarcity. Like, this is only for today. We're only, if you come to me tomorrow, the next day, next week, I'm sorry, but this is just a special I have for this live event. So it's for today only. Or I only have 25 spots available. We have 400 people in this room. Those spots are going to go really quick, but it's first come, first serve. In fact, if I were you, I would get up and I would go to the back table right now to make sure that you lock in your spot. And you'll see people will get up and they'll start heading to the back. And that even gives you social proof. Everybody can see people standing up and heading to the back. You want to future cast where they're going to be if they don't take advantage of your offer. So what happens if you do nothing? Does the problem magically get better or does it get worse? It's the second law of thermodynamics. Anything that's left on its own tends to entropy and decay. So if you don't take action on this health problem you have, you're 25 pounds overweight, well, 5 years ago, you were 20 pounds overweight. You've gained 5 pounds. What do you think is going to happen in the next 5 years? Hey, if you don't get this relationship in your marriage fixed, if you don't get these conflicts fixed, if you don't learn how to communicate, do you think that the problem is going to magically get better on its own? Or do you think that it will get worse? Yeah. It'll get worse, right? So you want to future cast for them and show them, it maybe is not a problem that you feel is terrible right now. Maybe you're a little uncomfortable with it, but give that problem a few years and then you're going to be in a real mess. So why don't you just take action now and let's fix this thing? So you want to show them how it's going to be if they don't take action. You always want to anchor with a higher price. So this will position your offer as a great deal. So for instance, I might say, you guys have heard me say this, is these are the things that I teach my one-on-one clients who pay me $30,000 to $50,000 to work with me one-on-one. This program that I'm offering you is the exact same things that I teach my one-on-one clients for $30,000 to $50,000, but it's only $3,000 or $5,000 or whatever the price may be. So that anchor price positions your real price that you're offering, a special offer, as a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer of a deal. So you want to also cut the price and cut the price again, and then button it up with a beautiful guarantee. A beautiful guarantee. This is a no-risk situation. You can, if you're not satisfied, and there's tons of ways to make guarantees. You can say, we can work with you for free until you have made your first $3,000, or within the first 7 days, if you're not totally blown away by what we offer, you can request 100% back money guarantee. If you do the things that my program teaches you to do and you don't get results, we'll give you 100% of your money back, no questions asked. And the thing about it is that you build an offer that there's just no way it doesn't happen. So, for example, let's say that you're selling a weight loss program, and you say, okay, here's the program, is that you're going to exercise for 30 minutes a day. You're going to do cardio every other day, and you're going to do weightlifting every other day, 6 days a week. 6 days a week. You're going to take a Sabbath. You are going to do 1,200 to 1,500 calories a day. You're going to write that down. Yes, you're going to measure and you're going to weigh your food. And you are going to hydrate. You're going to drink X amount of water, and you are going to sleep a minimum of 7 hours a day. There is no way that somebody who does that is not going to get results in your program. If they're cutting their calorie count, if they're exercising, if they're hydrating, and if they're sleeping, they are losing weight. And if they don't lose weight, it wasn't because your program didn't work. It was because they didn't do what you told them to do. And your guarantee says, if you do the things that I tell you to do, I guarantee your results, and they will get results. All right, that's it for live events.
I love it. I love it. Okay. So a lot of people, Coach Tam, are selling in an online space. This has been the wave for a long, long time. And I think for most of us, it's probably not going anywhere. It really is like a here to stay. It really is the new normal for a lot of people. And it has its pros and cons. Can you talk to us about some of the differences and the different approaches between being in a live space, whether you're with 20, 200, 2,000, or 20,000, and being in an online space where you might be selling to people that you can't see them at all. I mean, the only thing that you can see looking back at you in your computer screen is yourself. What are some of the differences and the different ways that you would suggest that we approach that kind of audience?
Well, if you're doing a webinar, and we've done lots of them, right, Jillian? I don't know how many we've done, 30 or 40 webinars together. We can see their comments. So we're able to gauge audience reaction to a certain degree. But some of the things that I've already told you still apply. You've got to establish your credibility. You've got to gain rapport with the audience. You've got to give them real value. You've got to make them want to stay. They can bounce. In a live audience, it's not as easy to bounce because you've got to stand up and leave the room. But with a virtual event, it's easy for people to get distracted and to leave. So you want to give them reasons to stay. If you stick with me, here's my promise. I make it at the beginning of every webinar we do. Here's my promise to you. And this is a big, bold promise, but I can back it up. If you will stick with me for the next hour and a half, I promise that I'm going to give you a step-by-step system that is going to help you increase your impact and your influence and your income. And here's what I'm going to be teaching you today. So at the beginning, you'll see that I stack value. This is what you're going to learn. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to show you that. You're going to get these keys. You're going to get these takeaways. And so at the beginning, I give them a lot of reason to stick with me. We're also going to be giving away prizes. We've got Amazon gift cards. We've got MacBook Pros to give away. We've got special guests. You want to stay and hear John Maxwell, don't you? We're giving them a reason to stay. And then here's the difference between a live audience and a virtual audience is that I can give them a lot more testimonials. Like if I'm doing a live audience, I might do kind of a case study thing of, let's say, 4 testimonials. I can give them 40 in a virtual event, and I can put them up on the screen and bam, 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 go through it. Also in a virtual event, I have a much longer close than I would have on a live event, but I'm strategic about my close. I'm not selling. I'm serving. I'm telling you, these are the benefits, right? And I'm mixing in some teaching at the same time. So most people cannot tell that I'm closing. I still look like I'm teaching. I use the pearl of great price principle, which is that I don't give them the answer until they are convinced of the benefit. And so that's why we'll see in the chat, sometimes people will go, okay, I'm sold. Just tell me the price. Just get to the price, because I've already crushed them with benefits of all the things that are so powerful and so great about this program. It's a no-brainer. I want to do it. Just tell me the price. I remember reading some years ago that the Wesley brothers, they were famous for their circuit riders. They would teach preachers to get on horseback and go village to village in North America and to share the gospel. And John Wesley said, now listen, you don't share with them the good news of Jesus Christ until they are so convicted of their sin that they can no longer look you in the eyes. And then you can tell them the good news. And then people will come to Christ like crazy. But first, they've got to be convicted. They first got to be convicted about their need for Jesus. And I think it's the same thing in sales. Like if you just give all benefits and don't focus on the pain points, people are very quick to deceive themselves into thinking that their life is just fine the way it is. They'll put it off till tomorrow, and then all the tomorrows disappear and you're at the end of your life. So you've really got to also pound the pain and let them know that this is a problem that needs to be solved. And good news is I got an easy, inexpensive answer for you. And honestly, like my clients pay me $6,000 to $30,000, $50,000, many of them, to work with me. And you say, oh, well, that's a lot of money. A lot of money compared to what? Is it a lot of money compared to not knowing how to do these things? Spend years of your life writing a book and nobody reads it? Is it expensive compared to all the money that you're stepping over because you don't know the skills of selling or of podcasting or how to launch a high ticket coaching program? Like it's a steal of a deal what I offer. And that's the way you need to build your offers too, is that you feel super good, almost embarrassed about offering it, even if it's $1,000 or $10,000. The value of it is so fantastic. And the price that you put on it is so low, it would be just dumb, honestly, just dumb not to do this. Virtual events, Q&A. Do Q&A. You can't do that as easily. You can do it in a live audience, but it's super easy in a virtual event. Take them to the landing page where they're going to sign up. Walk them through the sign up process. It's really much easier in a virtual event to close people if you have a sales team or if you yourself are willing to meet with them on the phone. And you might make a little barrier to entrance to say, it's $49 to put in an application. I don't work with everybody. If you're not accepted into the program, I'll give you your $49 back. But that way, only serious people are signing up and taking up those spots. But it's a whole lot easier to communicate the value of a high ticket offer if you've got a sales team or if you yourself are going to meet with them and talk to them for a half hour or an hour. And then another thing we do in our live events is you do this, Jillian, when you interview our guests, we bring on live testimonials and they share. My students sell way better than I do. My students sell my product way better than I do because now people are saying, okay, here's a real person. They were having the same kind of problems that I have. And these are the results they got. Okay, I think I can trust this process now. It's not just Coach Tam telling me this. I can see her students. So bringing on live testimonials is a great thing to do in a virtual event. And then, Jillian, you welcome the new signups. So when people are going over to sign up during the break, we have our admin team send those names of those people to Jillian. And then Jillian's able to say, hey, Jenny, thank you so much for joining the community. And, whatever, Tom Jones, welcome. We're so excited to have you here. And she starts reading out the names of the people, and that is adding social proof. And it's making people more comfortable to get involved in the community. All right.
Okay, so we're going to end with this question on sales. And that is when it gets to one-on-one, when you are on a sales call or in a strategy session, what would you say if you've got the right script, right? Like you're ready, you've prepared yourself, but what would you say, no matter how prepared you are, what materials you have in front of you, what would you say is the number one most important thing that you have got to be aware of and be focused on when you are on that call or strategy session?
I think the mistake that most novice coaches make is that they get onto a discovery call or a strategy session or whatever you want to call it, that people are setting aside time to get on the phone or get on a Zoom call with you, and you are promising to help them in a free environment, but it's really leading to your paid program. So what you want to do is you want to frame it at the beginning to make sure that they know how the call is going to be so they feel comfortable about it. So I would say, hey, I'm going to tell you a little bit very briefly about myself and our company and what we do. And then I'm going to ask you a number of questions about yourself and hear about your vision and maybe some of the things that you've tried in the past that didn't work, and what you think that you need to get to the goal that you want to get to. And then if it seems to make sense for us to work together, I'll tell you a little bit about our program, and you get to make the choice of whatever you want to do. Is that fair? And so already they feel comfortable that they know this is how the call is going to go. You've put them back in control by saying you get to make the choice of if we want to work together or not. You can let me know, and whatever you decide is fine with me. So the discovery call, let's call it, it is 90% you listening and 90% them talking. Most novice coaches will yappity yap it up and try and talk about the value of their program and how you'd be a good fit and this is so great and everything. But that's not the way to start. The way to start is putting the focus on them. Is, tell me a little bit about yourself. I ask rapport questions. Do you have children? Are you married? Where do you live? Oh, that's awesome. My uncle lives there. I've spent quite a lot of time in Chattanooga. And, you're building rapport, and then you're asking them about their dreams. Like, what is it that you want to accomplish? What have you tried unsuccessfully? Why do you think you're stuck? What do you think that you need to succeed? What would help you? Why now? Why is it important to take action now? What will life look like for you if you figure this out, if you succeed, if you conquer this issue? What will life look like for you? How will that benefit you? What would that mean to your family? What would it mean to your health, to your finances? What's your level of motivation to do this? Like how urgent is it to you that you solve this problem? And in the process of asking those questions, what they're doing is they're selling themselves. And then when you get to the end, you can say, now, I have a program that will get you the very outcomes that you desire. Would you like me to tell you about it? That's permission-based marketing. Now they're saying, yes, tell me about it. It's not something you're shoving down their throat. Do you think that this would benefit you? Do you see how this would get you to the next level? The accountability and the systems and the community. Is this what you're looking for? We still haven't told them the price yet. I think that you would be a good fit for this program and that you are somebody that I would really like to work with. And then now let's add in the scarcity. I have 3 spaces available. I'd like to offer you one of these spaces. It doesn't matter to me whether you take the space or not. I've got back-to-back coaching calls set up like this for the next 2 weeks. Somebody's going to take those 3 spaces, but I would like for it to be you. And again, you're doing the same sorts of things. You're giving them the value stack, you're cutting the price, you're cutting it again, you're giving them a guarantee, you're making it a no-brainer. We have a few payment plans available. Would you like to save money by paying in full, or would you like to chunk it down with a lower monthly option and then move into the assumed close? Okay, sounds great. Does it sound good to you? Okay, great. Let me just get you into the system. And then you ask some easy questions at first. Let me get your full name, your address, your phone number, your email address. And then do you want to put that on Visa, MasterCard, or American Express? And what they'll say is, oh, you mean right now? Yeah. Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me just get a card. And that's as easy as it is. It's not some super scary, horrible thing. This is a good thing. Like getting people involved in your community, getting them involved in your coaching and giving them access to your courses and your systems and giving them the accountability that they need to get to their goals is a good thing. And it's a valuable commodity that you ought to feel really good about selling. You ought to feel good about selling it.
I love it. Thank you, Coach Tam. The chat is lit up. They are very excited and grateful. And There's just been a lot of talking through and processing all the things you've shared today. And we hope that you have enjoyed it too. Our listening audience, our viewing audience for the KVA podcast. We love you guys so much. Coach Tam, thanks for being with us. Next time, we shall see, but we will have to do separate episodes on copywriting and teaching. I know I mentioned that today, but there was just so much good stuff to unpack and talk through on sales, but we will get there. We promise. Coach Tam, any final closing words as we say goodbye? All right.
Bye now.
Love you guys. Thanks for joining us. We will see you again next time.
Hi, this is Tamara Lowe, founder of Kingdom Builders Academy, here with a free gift for you, our loyal podcast listeners. We're giving away free copies of my newest book, Business Plus Ministry Equals Success, a superior model to profitably change your world. You can download your free copy right now at kbabook.com. That's kbabook.com. Thanks for tuning in to the Kingdom Builders Academy podcast today. Join us again for our next exciting episode.